Hey, what up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Will Trea Turner sign long-term with the Dodgers? More on that in just a second. But quick reminder for all latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, some of your takes down below in the comment section. And today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Do you think that Trea Turner will sign long-term with the Dodgers? And other than Fernando Tatis Jr., do you think he's the best shortstop in all of Major League Baseball? Let me know down below in the comment section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So welcome to part 3 of things the Dodgers need to do the minute the MLB lockout ends. And today we're focusing on Trea Turner. The Dodgers need to check in with Trea Turner and see if he'd be willing to sign an extension. Will Trea Turner sign long-term with the Dodgers? Well, to me, that's right at the top of the list of most pressing questions that this organization faces right now, because they made the big trade for Trea Turner and Max Scherzer. They parted ways with their top 2 prospects in Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, and we already know, of course, Max Scherzer, he signed with the New York Mets. Well, will they just get Trea Turner for the 2022 season and he'll walk? I think what the Dodgers need to first do, of course, is check in with Trea, because there's been a lot of rumors out there that he wants to sign with an East Coast team. Well, the Athletics' Fabian Ardaya, he did a mailbag a few days ago, and he was asked this question about Trea Turner only wanting to sign with an East Coast team, and here's what he had to say. To answer this question directly, no, Trea Turner and his agent have not said publicly that he'd only consider signing with an East Coast club. For one, that wouldn't benefit either party to eliminate a significant part of his potential market, especially when still under contract with the Dodgers. For what it's worth, it's not something that has been expressed to me privately when I've asked about Turner either, which isn't to say it is or isn't true. It very well could be, and location isn't unimportant to most free agents or potential free agents, but other factors matter more. When I wrote about Turner last fall, I asked him directly what is important to him when it comes to considering a contract extension and how he feels about the prospect of staying in Los Angeles long term. He didn't rule it out. So Ardaya didn't completely debunk the theory that Trea Turner wants to sign with an East Coast team, but he also did point out that he hasn't ruled out the idea of signing with the Dodgers long term. Now, does Trea Turner want to play on the East Coast? That might be a possibility. He was born in Florida. He went to college at NC State in North Carolina. Well, there is a team that could be looking for an elite shortstop next offseason, and that could be the Boston Red Sox, because the Boston Red Sox, they of course have Xander Bogaerts, but he can opt out of his contract after the 2022 season, and by all reports, he fully intends to do so. So could Boston look to pick up Trea Turner? Seems like it could be a nice fit. They are a franchise that has also been rumored to be potentially interested in Carlos Correa. So if Bogaerts walks, would they go after Trea Turner? Because look, let's be honest, a player of Trea Turner's caliber with the kind of money that he'll command, there's not that many franchises out there that can afford him. The Boston Red Sox most definitely can. Now, when it comes to the Dodgers, how much would they be willing to pay him? Well, first and foremost, how good of a player is Trea Turner? Well, if you guys have seen my videos, I've done tons of deep dives into Trea the Burner Turner, and since the start of the 2019 season, he's slashing 317, 370, 530, has a 379 WOBA, a 135 WRC plus, and he's 6th in F4 at 13.2. He's a player that can give you 20 plus home runs. He's a guy that is the batting champion, so he can hit for power, he can hit for average, and I think the Dodgers offering him a monster extension is a no-brainer. They should be offering him a monster extension faster than he can score from first on a single. He is the fastest player in all of Major League Baseball. A sprint speed at 30.7 feet per second, first in the league last year. This guy has had a sprint speed above 30 every year since 2016. He is Trea the Burner Turner. When he lands at the airport, the Dodgers plane lands 10 minutes later, if you know what I mean. I know there's a lot of Dodger fans out there that are a little skeptical after the postseason that he had in 2021, where he hit just 216, had an on-base of 245, slugged just 255, actually led the Dodgers with 51 at-bats, but went just 11 for 15 551 with 2 doubles, no home runs, 2 RBIs, and then 12 strikeouts to just 1 walk. So that kind of is the big question mark when it comes to Trea Turner. Is his postseason success or lack thereof? 4 years, 9 series in the postseason, slashing 228, 274, 287 with a 561 OPS. Now, yes, that could give you cause for concern, but remember this: before Corey Seager went to God mode in the 2020 postseason, he had been around 200 for his career in October. So look, we've seen good players. We've seen great players that have struggled in the postseason earlier in their career break out at some point. Look, even great artists have bad albums. Great actors have bad movies. Look, they can break out, and I think that Trea Turner could be one of those guys. I think he learned a lot from the 2021 postseason. He was posting all down the stretch. The Dodgers wouldn't have got there without him, in my opinion. And look, hey, you go, just missed one against the Braves. Almost hit one out. That would have been a big difference maker there in Game 2. But I think the Dodgers definitely need to go all in on trying to sign Trea Turner long term. And in my opinion, save for Fernando Tatis Jr., he is the best shortstop in all of Major League Baseball. Earlier, I gave you Trea Turner since the start of the 2019 season. Well, since the start of the 2020 season, he's second behind Jose Ramirez in F4 at 9.6. Fernando Tatis Jr., 9.1. Now, it does factor in defense, so you have to consider that. But if you look at the WRC+, 147 for Trea Turner and 154 for Fernando Tatis Jr. FTJ definitely has him in home runs, 59 to 40. But you know, I bring my facts to the fight, and the numbers indicate that Trea Turner is one of the very best players in all of Major League Baseball, and he should be compensated as such. And if you're the Dodgers and you want to avoid having an elite shortstop leave you in the offseason in consecutive years, you're going to have to pay Trea big. Now, he is older than Carlos Correa. He is older than Corey Seager. He will turn 29 next June, so it's going to take $250 to $300 million to get him to sign an extension. But I would feel good about that money, even though he is a little older, like I said, than Correa and Corey Seager, because of his durability. Look, he's been on the 10-day IL twice in his career. Once for a finger injury in 2019, and then last year he had COVID. That's the only other reason. He had a undisclosed injury day-to-day in 2020, a left forearm injury day-to-day in 2021, but nothing major. Some knick-knack finger injuries. I think he's going to age well. Just look at that speed. That is an athlete. That is a once-in-a-generation type athlete in Trea Turner. In my opinion, he's one of the most underrated players and stars in the game right now. I mean, just look at the slide seen around the world, the smooth slider raider. Look, the second that happened, I threw that up on my Twitter. It currently has 7 million views. People love to watch Trea Turner run the bases. I think he has that star power, and I don't think there's many other options for the Dodgers when it comes to getting an elite shortstop. Gavin Lux, he's not going to be that guy at shortstop. I don't think the Dodgers will sign Trevor Story. I don't think they'll sign Carlos Correa either. So I think that from a leverage standpoint, Trea Turner realizes that if the Dodgers want an elite shortstop, he is their guy, and I hope that he signs with the Dodgers long term. And former Dodger and current Sportsnet LA analyst Jerry Harrison, he thinks the Dodgers will be prioritizing signing Trea Turner long term when the lockout ends.
I'll never forget Andrew Friedman. We were all excited when they traded for Mad Max, right? Max Scherzer. We were all excited, but I think he was more excited of having Trea Turner because he knew that we're going to have him not just for this year, but also for the coming year. He's a dynamic athlete, game-changing speed, great power, great arm at shortstop. So I think they're going to really make it a priority to sign Trea Turner. I think he stays in Dodger blue.
But let me know down below in the comment section, do you want to see the Dodgers sign Trea Turner to an extension? Where do you think he'll ultimately sign? Do you think he'll consider an extension before the 2022 season? And also, other than Fernando Tatis Jr., do you think that he's the best shortstop in the game? Do you agree with me on that one? But let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, all latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.